Liminal spaces. We all know what they are. They're like if you took this... Crap, I banged the desk, you freaking idiot. Liminal spaces. We all know what they are. See this image right here? Time travel 20 years into the past. Remove all of these people, and boom. You get this image. Liminal space. It's basically any nostalgic place with a lack of people, life, and things are usually slightly off. Like in this photo, because it's AI generated. Yeah, I know. Crucify me for using ChatGPT. I had to. I couldn't.
Thank you for all this time that you gave me. Thank you for being my best friend the entire world.
Wow. I just liminaled all over this space. So with that being said, let's rebuild some of these liminal spaces inside of Minecraft. Alright, here's the first image. It appears to be a bunch of large buildings in a field of blue flowers. And these buildings are on a hill. Yeah, I can build this. I can definitely build this. I can make this work. Here we are in a super flat world. Just creative mode. I was gonna do an actual Minecraft world and try to find a seed that would work, but I really do think that this would just be so much easier if I just do it in a super flat world, so that's where I'm gonna do it. It's just kind of weird because I don't know where to start, but like, I could start anywhere. I just have to be away from, I guess, that building. Alright, yeah, we'll just start right here, I guess. So the very first thing, it seems like it's a mix between blue and red flowers. So I'm just gonna plant a bunch of cornflowers and roses. Sorry. Poppies. Yeah. I still don't call them by the right name. Yeah, I think this is just where we start, unfortunately, so... Let's get cracking. What is life? So I'm in the interest of creating these photos, or recreating these photos, the most accurately I possibly can. So that even comes down to the like exact flower placements in the photos. And it seems like they kind of branch out to the side a bit here. Maybe have like a little pocket right over here. It also depends on the angle that I'm viewing them from too. I think that this is our angle basically. I think it makes sense to view things from right about here, maybe a few blocks up, probably something along those lines. And I am realizing something now. There are hills, so I'm gonna have to actually like lock in and totally terraform this area. So I guess I'll just finish some of the flowers first and then move on to that. It seems as we go on, there's less and less of these blue flowers, so I'm just kind of like sporadically putting them throughout it, and then I'm gonna completely phase them out eventually. And now, before you guys say anything in the comments about placing things with like fill commands, I don't know how to use them, and plus, I like building things by hand, so I'll stick to the old-fashioned way. Let's check and see what we have so far. Oh, I have a long way to go. Very, very long way to go. "300 flowers later." Alright, hill time. Hill climb racing. Now I'm sort of thinking that we can cheat this hill because half of it's not even in frame. Maybe even more than half, so I'll probably just stop like right here. Oh my gosh, that's almost exactly where it is in the photo. I think I do need to make it cut in more, though. Alright, now on to the difficult part. The buildings. Seems like they're on a sort of rocky, stony top. Or bottom, I mean foundation, whatever you want to call it. So I'm thinking some terracotta, probably the, yeah, light gray and normal terracotta, along with probably brown terracotta. I think that'll get us a good mix of light to dark colored blocks. Yo, I actually got a quick question. What the heck does Agartha mean? I actually don't even know. Like, first it was this Tung Tung Sahar thing, and I didn't know what that was, and now people are saying something about some Agartha. Could somebody actually please tell me what that means? Because I am extremely confused. Like, extremely confused. I don't have any frame of reference here. I haven't looked it up, so just, like, in the comments, just tell me what you think it means. Or what it actually means, preferably, because I'm confused. 25-minute timer.
25 minutes. Start.
Okay, so I figured, yet again, just like with these hills, they're kind of like half done or whatever. I'm gonna cheat with this here, because look at this. Since we're only recreating the photo, if you come right here, you get a pretty good view of what you need to get a view of. So if I just kind of fade these sides out, it's gonna look pretty much perfect. Work smarter, not harder, guys. I'm gonna do one more layer and then kind of like fade it out. Alright, these buildings should be pretty easy. I'm thinking either cyan terracotta or some other variation of that. So let's just kind of get some of these lighter tone ones and see which one basically perfectly recreates the image the best. Yeah, definitely. What is this color? Light gray? Yeah, we're gonna do the light gray. In my opinion, that's the closest to the photo. So that's what we'll do. Alright, I'm kind of like confused, because like obviously it's a liminal space photo, but it's kind of hard to figure out how big to make these. I'm also sort of noticing these shadows. I'm almost thinking, what if we bring in some of that cyan terracotta and just plop it here on the sides to give that weird sort of shadow effect that it has. I think that'll help. That's actually, I feel like that's a good start right there. That's almost exactly what I want. That's crazy. And then it kind of almost looks like it has a yellow tint on top. So I could add that in. Let's see how that looks. I actually kind of like that. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. Oh my gosh, that looks way better without shaders. I do need to figure out a way to mark all these animals, though. Like slash kill at A. Oh, that murders me too. Oh crap. Oh, thank you. Alright, now I can kill everything, including myself. Wish there was a better way to do that. And now nothing should spawn. And we can have our liminal little thingy work perfectly. So I do have fog in this mod, so I am going to up the render distance by a considerable margin. Hey! What are you doing? You can't be here. The command only, like, catches up later, I guess. Alright. So I do believe that is our first liminal space recreated. Of course, I'm gonna squash this photo and do a side-by-side comparison because I'm not making a bunch of flowers if I don't need to, you know? I don't need to make a bunch of stuff if I don't need to. Alright, that is our first build done, so I guess we're just gonna go right on to the next one. I'll see you there. Alright, it's the next day now, and we are on to the next build. So I'm just going to start going through here and seeing what will work the best for this sort of liminal hallway pool area. So far, I'm I've been thinking about it quite a bit, and I think that the best possible block I could use are quartz bricks. I mean, I think personally that this lines up almost perfectly from what we're seeing in this photo. Now, another thing I was thinking about recreating were the shadows in this. I feel like the shadows in this photo are a lot more important than the last one that we did. So maybe we'll use shaders for the final photo here, as opposed to the last one, which I do think did better without the shaders. I just think it looks a lot more liminal without them, especially from like a further distance. Like I think it looks like a little bit more creepy with distance. So yeah, I'm just gonna get started on building a kind of just sketch for this. That should be good. I think that's long enough, because the goal here is that we're around this close-ish, and then, you know, that's all you can see. Alright, so looks like, because I'm looking at the grid for this now, right? And I can almost divvy up every section of 4 cubes, these little tiny cubes, into one Minecraft block. So I'm counting, it looks like the pool's about 3 blocks upward. It might be a bit big. I'm gonna try 2. Yeah, we're gonna count every around 6 little cubes as 1 block. That's probably fair. It's probably a fair estimate. Oh, as of recording this segment here, I've actually just hit above 250 subs, so thank you guys for that. I'm trying to zoom in. I'm opening the voice chat mod. Thank you guys for getting me to 250 subs. That's like, that's 250 people that are dedicating themselves to watching this content consistently, so that's kind of crazy. Hopefully this year we can hit 1,000 and maybe get like monetized and stuff, so that'll be cool. I could do channel memberships and all sorts of stuff, so look forward to that whenever monetization happens to happen. And also, while I'm here, I guess I might as well say that I do have a Discord server, so if you'd like to join that, go down in the description below, and there should be a link there. And you can come talk with me and anybody else who's online. Alright, now I just need some water. Water? There we go. Oh, this never gets unsatisfying. Just beautiful, look at it. Ah, look at that. We're already so close. Now, something I do notice in this photo, which kind of annoys me, is that the water's green, and I'm wondering if there's a way to, like... You can't, like, change the biome, you know what I mean? Like, there's not a way to do that, is there? Oh yeah, also, guys, by the way, Happy New Year. I didn't even, like... It's not even registering. Registering? Registering? Yeah, it's not even registering for me. I went to bed at 9:30 last night. I was, like, completely done. And then waking up this morning, it doesn't even feel like it's 2026, I swear. It just feels like it's 2025 part 2. Although people are saying apparently that this is the new 2016. I guess I can kind of feel that. Memes are kind of resetting. People are becoming more comfortable with just, you know, being edgy and stuff, so hopefully you... You know, I'm actually gonna... I might cut up everything I just said. I'm gonna beep it. I said something about the platform that I'm recording for. That's all. Please don't look here, you two. We're good. We're cool, right? I'm family friendly and appropriate. Okay, I actually haven't even tested if this happens to be tall enough or not. I'm assuming it will be, because we're going to take the photo zoomed in a bit like this. And obviously the top part here of the photo has a slanting roof, so we can use upside down stairs for that and do a little bit of a dealio like this. And that's probably all we have to do, to be honest. Oh. Alright, last block. We're done with the roof. Boom! Oh. Boom! I mean, boom! There we go. We're getting somewhere. We're close. Now I just gotta bust some walls down. Alright, wall be busted. Alright, I think that's gonna help quite a bit. Yeah, that gives us a lot more water to work with. Alright, in the photo you couldn't see this wall, so I'm gonna have to tuck this behind a bit more. Okay, so this is how far I'm guessing I'm going to have to go in this hallway. I don't know, maybe it'll have to be a bit longer. I think at the end of the hallway I'm going to place black concrete. Just to give that, like, immersion of a shadow. Alright, what's, like, the blackest thing in the game? Definitely black concrete. So I guess we'll just do that. It's pretty black, but I feel like it could get blacker. I think what I'm gonna end up doing is turning my brightness all the way down. I think that'll actually help a lot. And then another thing I am noticing here is some light coming out, so I think these ochre frog lights, like ochre, like Shrek. Okay, it looks like there's around 4 of these little lights, so I'll separate them by around 3 blocks. Alright, I'm closing up the final wall, and then I think we can actually do our first photo test. So that's actually kind of exciting. I didn't think I'd finish it this quick. Alright. So we gotta get rid of this. I don't know what this bulge is doing here. Okay. Now we just need to make a chair. It's actually pretty accurate to how the chair is in the photo, to be honest. Alright. Now. Let's see. With shaders. And our brightness turned all the way down. Honestly, that's a really good recreation. And I'm actually really tempted to figure out exactly how we can get these light shadows proper. So I'm going to enclose the top really quick. Just really quick, because so far, I mean, look at this. That's like as close to 1-to-1 I've ever gotten a photo to be. So I am going to very quickly do some touch-ups, and I will see you back with the final product. Are you guys ready to see the finished product? Because I think it turned out really, really good, so let's take a look. Waboom! A 1-to-1 recreation of the photo. Wait, there we go. Waboom! Look at that. That's like super accurate. We can even fly a little bit to put the chair in the exact proper spot. I mean, look at how accurate that is. That's ridiculous. So yeah, there you have it. There is our second liminal space. I guess a little tour. You got our chair, our walls, our second little area here, our hall, our lights. I used the frog lights. I replaced some of this with more black concrete. And yeah, that's really all there is to it. I broke some holes in the ceiling to get the proper lighting on our chair here, as you can see. Sort of similar to how it was in the photo. And I finally figured out how to use a /fill command, so I just put this big black concrete slab on top of here. But yeah, there is the next liminal space fully completed. Alright, now that that one's all fully completed, we can move on to our third and final build. Oof, I've been recording this over the course of like 3 days, so sorry if the voice has changed. Anyway, let's... there's nothing to see there. Okay, so, I guess I'll just build it, like, right here. So, this next image we have... Oh, wait, I have to actually pull it up. Alright, yeah, okay, so here we are. I have the image. We're gonna get started. And one thing that I am realizing is that a part of this, there are clouds going up from the buildings. So we're going to have to use shaders and move the cloud height down, I guess? That seems like it's the only option, so we're going to have to figure this out really quick. This should be good for now. So the clouds are on the floor. I'm actually going to turn them off for now because they're annoying, but then we'll enable them later. So glad I figured that out because that took a ridiculous amount of time. That shouldn't have taken me 10 minutes to figure out how to make the clouds go down. That shouldn't have taken me that long, but we're just going to get started right now on the actual build. We don't need to go super crazy tall up. And now the next thing I'm thinking for this floor pattern is we're definitely going to use terracotta. But I don't know which one yet. I haven't actually extensively looked at them. So there's orange glazed, this brown glazed, and this gray glazed. All look like pretty good candidates, I'm not going to lie. We'll probably just make the floor out of all the same one. Ah, guess what? I know ball now. I can use the /fill command if I remember how to do it. It's, Oh, I did it! I'm such a genius, oh my gosh. And it's all perfectly perfect and everything's great, oh my gosh. I figured it out and I'm amazing. Now that we got the first part of the floor up, this is going to be real easy. I'm thinking, obviously, orange concrete for the pillars here. It makes the most sense, so let's just get right into that. You know, I feel like this is actually such a nice change of pace compared to this last one. This last one was very tedious. This one feels like there's a little bit more, like, I guess, creative freedom that we can have. So that's nice to see. This looks like it's a garbage can, so honestly, like, yeah, red shulker box. That's basically a garbage can. Yeah, there's so much more like creative freedom here. Actually feels like I can just kind of go ahead and build, you know? Now again, like the previous two photos here, I think it's really important to have proper framing. I think that's the most important thing, honestly. Like, the way the build looks is important, yes, but I feel like the way that you actually frame it and make it look is far more important than any amount of, I guess, decoration you could do, or all that. Alright, let's see. Iron bars seem like they're over in this area by this garbage can, but also, like, mixed with glass. It almost looks like we have, like, a bit of a, like, a caged-off room area? That actually combines up really nice. Jeez, why was that so difficult to place for, like, no reason? Alright, we're gonna knock these down a bit, because I want to be able to make the ceiling a decent low height. Alright, let's see what we're gonna make the ceiling out of. I'm thinking we go out of full screen, okay. I'm thinking probably lapis, but it also looks like the block has a sort of border on it, and there's not really many options for blocks that have borders on them. So I gotta think for a second. Okay, yeah. I took a look at all of the blue blocks, and I honestly think, yeah, lapis is going to give me the most absolutely close color that I could possibly get, so we're gonna use lapis. I think it just makes the most sense, to be honest. A lapis ceiling it is, and then I do have an idea for the lights that I'll be able to show you later. Okay, so this is where the photo is going to be taken from. Literally right here. So this is kind of perfect. So it does look like we have a wall over in this area blocking things off. So I'm going to use a little bit of gray concrete. I think that's kind of perfect, right? And then we'll finish up the ceiling at some point. It's probably like right about here, right? That probably makes sense. For some reason, I'm doing like Florida Gators colors. I don't even know what they're a team for, but this is their color palette. It's the orange and blue. What are are they like? They're not a football team. Are they a... Jeez, what are they? A hockey team? I don't know. Anybody from Florida, let me know what the freaking Florida Gators are. The only reason I know they exist is because my grandpa was like... had a ton of merchandise from them. I literally don't know what kind of sports team they are, though. I'm drawing the fattest blank at the moment. Okay, this does look like it stops about one before, and then has like a white trim. So we'll do the white trim here, and then we'll probably, to be honest, just use normal quartz. Yeah, that's literally the color. That's the exact color it is in the photo. I'm going to try again, yet again, to use my newfound mastery of the /fill command. Wish me luck, because I don't want to destroy anything. And then lapis, block, enter. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so it went a little bit higher than I expected, but it is at the right height, which is what matters. And so far, I mean, I will say it, This is an extremely accurate recreation of the photo. The only thing that kind of bothers me is that there's a lot more swirling floor patterns. So I might have to change that up, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I want to work on the lights next. So my idea for the lights is to use a sea lantern and pale oak button. I think either that or a trap door. So we'll see how we can make this look. So our first light is quite literally right here. So there's the button or trapdoor. I'm thinking the trapdoor looks better, to be honest. Like, there's the button. It just looks kind of like dingy. Like, it doesn't really look like there's anything there. I kind of like that better. I don't think it really matters that much. It's such a small little detail. I really don't think it matters. Okay, so there's going to be more lights. So there's one here. This is the best part about working with a grid, is that you can see where everything is lined up. Like, each of these blocks is basically an individual one. That does mean the scaling's a little bit off, but not off by such a large degree to where it, like, looks abnormal. Okay, it looks like there's, like, a little thing here, so I'm gonna get a piece of gray glass, I guess, and just kind of that. Yeah, sure. just adding little decorations here and there, I feel like really helps. Now, one thing I am going to change at the end of this is I'm going to make this fog distance come a lot closer, and I feel like that's actually going to really help with kind of the effect that we're going for. And then we'll see how this looks. Quake Pro? Do you think? Or do you think we should actually zoom it in more? Like, maybe a slight bit, maybe like 65? You have this kind of effect going on? Okay, so /fill. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, let's just try this. Let's just try this first. Because the building does actually have to stop going up at a certain point. So we need it to stop around right here. And another detail I did notice was it kind of has these little grooves. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So like there's these little areas that are cut out. And it's kind of offset like this. Does that make sense? And hopefully if we get this right, the clouds will be covering up this bottom area. So it'll really look like these buildings are coming out of nowhere and are like extremely tall. It's all about cheesing the photo. Like I said, it's just about cheesing the photo and making it look how it does in the photo with basically camera tricks. I think we have a winner right here. Look at that. That is the building, almost unmistakably. Of course, recreated in Minecraft, but I think it's pretty close. Let's go do these other ones quick. Okay, I think I figured this out. So let's try to mess with these clouds now. What have I done? What is happening? I've broken the photo. Why is there lines? What am I looking at? I think we got it. I think we actually just got it. I think that's the photo. I'm gonna be honest. So where are we looking in the photo? Right around here? Ladies and gentlemen, I think I completed it. So for some reason, what I was trying to figure out was how to get the shaders to work with the fog, but when you turn the shaders on, it deletes the fog. I don't know why it does that, but the fog is like most of the photo here. And I think I really recreated that. I think this might be one of the best ones. I was going to try to recreate the floor pattern, but I'm going to be honest, I don't know how I would do that and make it look good. These swirls really aren't possible in Minecraft. So I kind of thought maybe just doing a sort of trippy, repeating floor pattern would work just as well with the terracotta. It works. Maybe it could be a bit better, but honestly, I think that I did a pretty good job at recreating this photo. And that is the last one. That's the last one for this video. Took me 42 minutes. Not bad. That's about the same amount of time it took for every other one because I'm a slow builder. But I did learn how to use fill commands in this video, so that's nice, I guess. Anyway, that is it. That is the final photo. Let me know what you think. We can go and do a review of the other ones really quick. After I get my shaders on to remove all this crappy fog. I probably should turn these clouds off too. I will say, out of all the ones I did build, this was by far my favorite. Something about this one specifically, this actually looks really cool with the fog going. Something about this one specifically, in the way that this is framed, it just tickles me. It's just nice. I will say that this one is probably my least favorite, just because I feel like, I don't know, like, in some areas I feel like I could have done a better job. But, I don't know, that's part of the process, right? You learn, you live, you learn, and you build, and things get better or worse. I think they did incrementally get better, but this one, by far, is my favorite. So, that is all I have for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if so, make sure to like and subscribe to all the YouTube algorithm stuff. And I also have a Discord server down in the description. We do movie nights every Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So, join me for that. You can get a role, you can vote, you can suggest movies, or even games to play together, as long as they're co-op, of course. And that will be all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.